Okay, everyone, I'm just finishing up the last little bit of things, so I should be ready in just a second. I probably should make my intro longer because, it doesn't seem like I ever can get everything done in that, whatever, how long that is, that song takes to play. I don't know, what would you say? It's 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, all the minutes. We're just going to say it's all the minutes. So, hope you guys are having a lovely day on this Sunday. Let me do a quick little check with audio, and then we will be ready to go. Audio is sounding... Sunday. Audio sounds perfect. Awesome. Oh, I threw it on the ground. Okay. Awesome. Good to go. Oh, gloves. Awesome. Thank you. Where did I put my gloves? If I was gloves, where would I be, guys? Where would I put my gloves? I probably don't need gloves, the truth be told, but I kind of like them. I'm so organized, guys. I'm the most organized person in the entire world. Found the gloves. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Outside it is. So, I have no idea what we're going to talk about today. Today is just a chaos day. We're just going to call it a chaos day. We're just going to talk about whatever there is to talk about in the world. Nothing too exciting. Just talk. We're going to get the chores done. We're going to watch the ice melt off of my house. And we're going to just travel on. So let's go peek at the temperature today and see what the temperature is on this lovely day today. So current temperature is 29 degrees, or that would be -1°C. So 29 degrees, -1°C. So yeah, I think we talked about, we were going to talk about decisions, but I haven't decided if we should talk about decisions or not. So another, hey look, the moon. Look, there's the moon. You can't see the moon from that angle for some reason. The moon's not showing up. There's the moon. The moon. It's moon outside. So, oh, by the way, you want to see one of the coolest look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at how cool that is. That would like totally hurt. Maybe even be real bad when they fell, but it's cool. So okay, so let's go get some food and some water for everyone, and make sure Sylvia's good to go and all the other kind of stuff. So decisions. So sometimes making decisions is difficult. I know for me, especially with ADD, decisions can just be insane. I second guess myself a lot. And then I try to think if I thought that was a good decision, and I think about that decision and thinking about that decision. And so it can just be crazy. Okay, let me get this open. Let's get some food in here before Lisa gets out. Open sesame, says the barn. Hi, ducks. Who wants to come out? And you guys want to actually come out and hang out in the snow? Oh, some of you guys do want to come out and hang out in the snow. I think they're just bored. They just want to get out and do the snow thing. Okay, let's go. Let's go get. Come on, guys. Watch out! I need to go get the water jugs so we can fill you up with water. Water jug, guys. Let's go. Let's go over and get that accomplished. So, you guys don't have any really major important things to talk about today. It's Going to casually talk about making decisions and how to make good decisions, how to make bad decisions. Because, you know, knowing that you're making bad decisions is a decision in itself. Like, do you decide to put gloves on, or do you decide to just, you know, go out in the bush without gloves on? I think it's a silly idea. I think making good decisions is probably really based off of your level of preparedness and how well you are good at preparing and planning and getting all of that kind of things accomplished. Now, I like to plan. I like to be prepared. All of that things are very important for me. Docs therapy sessions, yes. By the way, one of the things that I've completely decided to do, and I haven't figured out how to do this yet, but I do need to figure out a way to schedule time for folks that need additional help and want to. I used to be a life coach. I actually used to be a dating coach and a life coach. And one of the things that I will say that as being a dating and life coach is one of the biggest things that I used to do was actually help people make decisions. So personally, I'm actually pretty good at helping other people make decisions for their life. Now, if they listen to me, that's a completely different story, because I can tell people what to do with their life, but I actually can't control their life, and I actually don't want to either. So, but it is one of those things. As when I used to be a dating coach and I had wingman services, making decisions seems to be what a lot of people are get stuck up on. Now, I'm probably just as guilty, but usually I don't always have the luxury. Like, you know, the pig's out. I don't got to make a decision of what I want to do. I just got to put that pig back in. Or, you know, there's something frozen. I don't have a decision to make. I actually just have to get that accomplished. But it's funny when you used to go as a dating coach, when I used to go help people try to figure out what was the best for them, who to talk to and who not. A lot of people would make the decision to not talk to anyone, which was always interesting to see the folks that just really couldn't make a decision. And I agree with that statement about life coaching. Life coaching is really just someone that doesn't trust their friends, is probably maybe a better way to put it than someone that wants a friend. It's someone that doesn't actually trust their friends. They don't think their friends are actually going to give them good enough advice, or maybe they don't have a good circle of friends, or maybe they don't have a good family. But I don't want to discredit life coaching, because that's kind of the same reason why people go to a psychologist. And as someone who, welcome, Clownface Sparkles. Is Clownface funny? What is it? Whatever. I listen. Clownface, funny face, sparkles. That's funny. I didn't know that it read that to me. So I listen to music. Welcome to the channel. You know, I just repeated something I wrote myself, so, you know, just shows you how little I actually pay attention. So, like, for example, I actually, as someone who was trained to be a psychologist, that's what my college education, one of my college educations is very knowledgeable about psychology. I think there's actually value in psychology. I don't think it's silly. I do think people, some people just want to be told what to do with their lives. That's such a hard concept for me to understand, is as someone who doesn't like to be told what to do, as someone who just hates authority of all kinds, it's hard for me to understand that there's people out there that want someone else to tell them what they should do with their life, because maybe maybe they don't want to have responsibility. This lid is not going on this thing, because they don't want to have responsibility for their decisions, and maybe they want to push that responsibilities off to other people, or maybe there could be lots of different reasons. But I think that there's value. I mean, again, I was a life coach. I still technically am. I just haven't really promoted anything in a while. So I guess I'm kind of biased, and I wanted to be a psychologist at one point. I like figuring out people. So that also might be a little secret for me. What I get out of it is not just helping people. I like figuring them out because people are interesting individuals.
I found the ditch.
Lisa found the hole again. You're really good at walking over a bridge and stepping off the side of it.
I would gravitate towards that one.
So I'll show you when we walk back. I cut a little path through, so when we're walking in the snow, we could walk across the bridge. And Lisa seems to tend to find out how to step off of the bridge into the ditch. So
You were clever enough to find that.
okay, back into the barn. I need to get the... Oh no, I knocked the lid off. I knocked the lid off and it went rolling away. Let me turn on the... It's 32 in here, so not bad. Why didn't that turn on? Let me see, why didn't it? Okay, hold on guys, I need to fix... The lights are not working in the barn, and so I need to figure out why. Why, oh why are the lights not working in the barn? Did they come unplugged? Did they... Looks like they may came unplugged. Well, if you guys want to see my wonderful electrical work job that I have here. So there's the wonderful electrical job that I have here in the barn. Just absolutely awesome at making sure that the electric is doing what it needs to do. So it does look like that when it's not plugged in. So where is it at if it's not plugged in over here? Nope, that's plugged in. Huh. Did that fix it? Yay! And then there was light. So, problem, crisis averted. Good to go. Let's go snag some more water, because one is never enough. We need lots of water today.
You get to go get feed tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, let's go back out and get some more water. So where were we at? We were talking about decision making. We were talking about life coaching. We were talking all that stuff, and I, as normal, got preoccupied with actually doing my chores, because that's, you know, the whole reason why I'm actually outside. Oh, we were going to show you the hole. Duh. So here's our little path. Okay, so I'm going to spin around. I'm going to show you. So here's a little path, and there's the bridge. And the path was really good, and Lisa decides to step off the path into the hole. I guess she's just not good at walking on paths. So so be life, I guess. Not everybody can walk on paths. Walking on paths can be hard and difficult, and not for everyone. Or you could just say she's blazing her own trail. I'm not going to say that because she just doesn't know how to walk on paths. That's just how we're going to approach this situation. Hey. Sorry guys, I'm putting my glove back on because for some reason I took my glove off. And I couldn't get it back on my hand. Okay, so let's go get some more water and talk more about and ramble on more. Unlike the last show, which if you haven't watched it on YouTube, you should, because I was on par with that show, man. I was really on top of it. So thank you so much for the lemons. I mean, I know that's an ice cream, but on the screen it says 10 lemons. So we're going to get some more water. We're going to get everybody fed. And then we're going to go for a short walk since it's such a nice day. And it's so actually pretty outside. It'll be a pretty day to go for a walk. So yesterday, yesterday, you should make the decision. The best time to make a decision is when you're clear-minded, when your mind is clear, and when you you can, sometimes the feeling can just be right. If something just feels right, especially if you're a woman, something just feels right, you should make that decision then. If the timing's right, it's just like you're just looking at like, this is, I think the price of this is going to go up, or I think that based off of other facts, it's a good time to make a decision. And sometimes it's just good to make a decision because you're indecisive and you know that you're an indecisive person. And so you should just make that decision now, because making wrong decisions can actually be beneficial as well. Because it's good there's lessons that you can learn from making bad decisions. So you can learn how not to make that decision again. See, we live in a culture where we think failure is a problem, and I think people should fail more. I know a lot of people are afraid to fail. And failure just means that you're learning something. It just means that you should probably not repeat that again. Or if you do repeat that failure, you're probably going to repeat it one or so more times, because failure isn't fun, but it's actually a lot more valuable than succeeding. Succeeding gives you that dopamine fix. But what failing does is it teaches you that maybe certain things aren't right, or that if you keep doing it the same way, you need to maybe try something a little different, or think outside the box, the circle, the line. So, yeah. Okay, let's go get the bunnies some food. Yeah, I'm good at failing. I'm really good at telling you ways on how to not to do things. Though sometimes I try things knowing that there's a higher probability of failure to them. But I just want to know I just want to try it. I want to see if it works or not. I want to see if there's an opportunity. I want to see why someone else didn't do something that way. That's a lot more of why I think I do things, is I want to figure out why someone chose not to do something a particular way. Because a lot of times when people don't do things, they don't tell you why. I threw you guys on the ground. So a lot of times people don't tell you why they fail. Well, when you make a decision, usually the only time that you should change that decision is if you have new information. So maybe a new feeling or a new fact, or something new has came about, and that new information makes you second guess your past information. So a lot of people change their opinion or change their mind way too quickly when there's really no reason to do that, because you probably made the right decision first. A lot of times, instinctually, we actually make the right decision, and then we let our mind or our feels or other things actually affect that and have us make bad decisions. So, rule of thumb, my rule, Doc's rule. Let's not even call it a rule of thumb. We're just calling it Doc's rule. Doc's rule is when you make a decision, stick with it unless some crazy new information is out telling you that decision you made is wrong. So be confident of yourself. One of the things that I used to say, and when I used to have men clients and we used to go out to clubs, or we used to go out and talk to women and such like that, is where we used to, the big thing is be confident of who you are. Is that, if you protrude this level of confidence and you were, it's like, this is the decision I'm going to make, right or wrong, I'm going to stick with it. It shows It shows that you're secure with yourself, that you're happy with who you are as an individual, and that, you don't mind making a couple mistakes because, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. And I know that sounds silly, but in most times in life, you don't actually want to break an egg unless you're actually doing something. So you're making the decision the proper time to break that egg and to use that thing. And so that's why I actually really like that analogy. I think it actually works. It's one of the few that works really well. So yeah, decisions. The thing is it's really easy to be tricked into not being a confident individual because there's a lot of stuff going on in this world. I just smudged up the camera. There's a lot of stuff in this world that is going around making you second guess yourself. You got the TV telling you to second guess yourself. You've got school telling you should do this, that, or the other. You have lots of things out there saying this is what you should do and this is what you shouldn't do. But in reality, you really just need to be like, I'm just cool with myself, like just cool like that. This is what I want to do. I don't know how many times I've had a good idea and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to fix the fence this way. And so I get out there and banging in the fence and putting it up and tying it like this and saying, okay, I think this is the right way. For Sylvia, my pig, to just get out there and push through it and be like, well, that wasn't a good way. And instead of next time building the fence, like second guessing myself, like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm just not a fence builder and I'm just going to give up and just throw up my hands and just be like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'll be like, okay, well, that way didn't work. So I learned how not to make a fence. Let's try another way. Let's see if I can learn another lesson on how not to make a fence. And then over time, you run out of ways on how not to make a fence, and you're honestly going to make a fence. Same thing. You're going to learn lots of ways on how not to do something. So, and like he said right there, the lack of knowledge. The more times you learn how not to do something, the more knowledgeable you become. Again, you want ways on how not to fix a car? I can tell you tons of ways on how not to fix a car. I'm really good at it. You saw all the cars in my driveway. So the other thing is, and this is, I'm gonna pick on women here for a minute, but a lot of times the reason why women aren't good at making decisions, especially when it comes to if they should go on a date with somebody or not, is they're getting distracted or tricked by either Hollywood or by an app or by something else, thinking that this isn't good enough, or thinking that there's some perfect solution out there, where no relationship's perfect, nobody is perfect. You're not going to find what you think you want. And so they're gonna make, maybe I shouldn't do this again, and they're going to go and give up on something that was actually really good. So one of the advice, and I give this to men and women when we talk about dating things, is one of the most important things I think I can put out there is it's not what you want. You shouldn't actually seek out in a partner what you want. You should just make sure that partner doesn't have what you don't want, because there might be something that you don't realize that is a really awesome thing that your partner could possibly have. And because you're just so focusing on your needs, she has to do this, she has to do this, she has to do this. I focus more on what she shouldn't have. If she can't cook, that's not her not being able to cook. That's a negative. So I want her to be able to cook. Now, good, bad, that's up to you, I mean, there's a whole song about, man, my nose is itchy. There's a whole song about, make sure his wife can cook. So it's just decisions. I mean, men, again, men are just as bad at it as well when it comes to the dating world. The dating world seems to be in current year, that seems to be where most people are making the most stupidest decisions in their life, where they're just not deciding. They're just like, I'm just going to put it to fate. No, you don't. You shouldn't eat Velveeta and chicken nuggets for life, but I mean, who am I to tell you that, cheese stuffs and bad covered chicken, breaded chicken thingies are bad? But hey, I don't remember where I was going with that hay, so we're just going to let it go. Other thing is, I also notice when people are trying to figure out jobs, people are very indecisive. Like, honestly, go try out a job. Like, you don't know what, like, I wish when I was younger, I didn't second guess myself so much time. There was things like I should have tried out lots of jobs. I should have tried out lots of things. I did in college do pretty good. I tried to take any class that seemed interesting. And if the class was interesting, I kept going with it and the class wasn't. Now, luckily, college was pretty cheap at the time. And I had a glitch code to, you know, not go deeply in debt into college. So I was able to take lots of college classes and try a bunch of stuff. And I mean, my 10 plus years of college, you just look at what I took, you know, for the first year of college, you know, I was a classically trained ballerina and a theater major. And then by the time I was pretty much done with college, I was going for historic interpretation and being a park naturalist. And I had other things in between, from being a psychologist to a microbiologist to a sex therapist. So all of that fell inside. All of those classes fell inside. And so classes I was super interested in, I just took every class I possibly could until there was no more classes. And classes that I wasn't interested in, you know, like English or math, I just didn't take. And that was my downfall. That was where I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that, you know, you really needed to have those classes. They kind of want you to take those classes to graduate. So be life. Get this frozen water here for these guys. These guys are looking at me saying, you're in here standing and my water's frozen. That's showing you how cold it is. That's a pretty good frozen chunk of water. So we'll go get those guys. We'll go get those guys some more water in just a second. Another thing people can't decide on is what they want to be when they grow up. And my advice to young people, and my advice to anyone, because I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but my advice to everyone is just try it. You know what? What's it hurt? By thinking about what you want to be when you grow up and not actually jumping in and trying something and not seeing if it is something you want to be when you grow up, jump in and try it, you know? I mean, what do? I'm a farmer. I teach people how to do farming stuff. You know, you've heard the other stories I have. I'm a live streamer. I'm a YouTuber. You know, am I good at any of these? Maybe not. Probably not. But I've made the decision to try and to stick it out and see where it goes. So it's all about figuring out how to just keep moving forward. You know, again, fail up. The idea is to keep failing up. And if you don't make decisions and if you don't try things, you're not going to fail up. You're just going to sit around twiddling your thumbs going, I wonder where things are going to be. I wonder why I'm still working at McDonald's, even though I don't really like working at McDonald's. Fail up. Try something, be bad at it, fail up. Learn how to not dude, I am not going to do that again because I do not like. I'm trying to think of something I tried that I failed up. Okay, I worked at a retail store where I sold clothes. I like retail. Retail's fun. I liked working retail. I've worked at a toy store. I worked at a science store. I worked at a bookstore. I worked at things of that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what? I might like working at a clothing store. So I worked at a Pacific Sunwear. I hated it. I mean, I didn't mind selling the shoes. The shoes was kind of fun, but all the rest was just the stuff the questions that people would ask me, and they'd want like tips on things that I just didn't really care enough about, but, you know, wanted to do a good job. So that's when I realized like that kind of stuff, that wasn't for me. So, but I tried it. Like, why not? Why not try to see if I'm any good at it or not? So that's, you know, and don't let age, some people are going to say, oh, you know, when you get to a particular age, I can't try things anymore because I've got, you know, blah, 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 blah reason. And just don't listen to whatever bullshit that they try to tell you. You know, you get to play this round. You know, if you're a reincarnationist like me, you get to come back and play again. But I want to try to learn as much. I want to learn all the secret moves in this level. that I'm currently in right now, because when I come back and play again, I can just breeze past this. If you're not a reincarnationist and you're in the YOLO, you only live once, well, then you should totally be playing this level. You've only got one life left, man. You should be playing this level, and you should be like trying all the stuff, trying to succeed, trying to get to all the higher levels to try to, you know, get all the trophies. So either way, reincarnationist or, you know, a typical person, that's it's all about trying to just elevate your stuff, try things. You know, we got this fleshy machine that we're in right now. We should be doing shit with it. We should move it around. You know, as a libertarian, I got no issue. You want to experiment around with a little bit of the drugs. You want to see what they do. Be safe with it. Have yourself a shaman or a, you know, a babysitter around so you don't make bad decisions. But do something, man. Live life a bit. Enjoy it. Enjoy this fleshy body we're in for a while. You know, that helps you make good decisions. I think it's also, we have too many choices today. There's too many, sometimes too many decisions. Like, I don't know if any of you've ever been around kids. And I'm saying like kids under the age of like 5. One of the big things that is important if you have a kid under the age of 5, and this is some child development tips from school, is when you're around children, don't give them a lot of choices. If you want to give them a choice, tell them that they can wear like the blue socks or the red socks. Let them have that kind of choice. But if you tell them that they can pick all the socks in their drawer, they're going to spend hours trying to figure out what socks to pick because they just don't know enough about the world. They don't have enough knowledge to know which ones to pick. So you as a responsible adult should limit their choices for them. And the same thing that happens to us as adults is some people have way too many choices in life. And so you should try to limit those choices. You should go through your choices. And if you're feeling the anxiety of having too many choices, you should start cutting them down until you can force yourself to only have 2 decisions. Do I want the red pear or the blue pear? And then when you're down to 2 choices, it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier for you to say, okay, you know what? I'm not overwhelmed. I can figure out which of those to do. Okay, let's go get these guys. I got some water. Let's go get these guys out here. All the buns outside, some food and water. That's what we're doing today. My ADD is mild today. It's not super bad, but it is hanging in there a little bit. So just FYI, those that are watching, if you're new to my stream and you don't understand how I'm bouncing around and don't know like why are we talking about this when we were talking about decisions, just understand that that's kind of how my brain works. But the good news is I have chores to do, so that means it forces me to think a particular way. Right, bunnies? Bunnies are like, yes, Justin. But why aren't you giving us food? Because I'm trying to give you guys food. Some water. Well, he should probably listen to him, because if he can't make a decision, yeah, I mean, if the friend is just really can't make a decision, and he's got friends telling him how to make that decision, and he's really seeking that help, he really should. So Yeah, no, I have to say, the one thing I do say that is an absolute blessing about living on a farm is the fact is I've always have tons of chores to do, and there's always something new. So I usually don't have the option. I usually don't have the option to say, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Usually what needs to be done today is it kind of tells me, because the roof needs to be cleaned off, or the barn needs to be fixed, or the fence is broken, or I got to go get feed. So sometimes I'm lucky that the decisions that I have to make sometimes are made for me, because I have to just observe what's happening and then make the right decision based off of what needs to happen. ADD, I think ADD farmers is definitely a job for explorers or ranchers or just anything like that. I totally think that is something that with folks like that, we were designed for, because every day is a little different, even though there's routine. And Lisa loves routine, and she is a routine person. And there is routine on feeding everyone and getting everybody water and getting everything accomplished. But during that routine, there's always a bit of chaos. There's always something that's occurring that I didn't expect. And so it adds to my enjoyment of doing things when there's just some chaos happening. Because, I don't know, I really like chaos. I think I probably thrive at chaos. Or at least I want to believe I thrive at chaos. Maybe I don't. Maybe chaos is actually why I'm not any more successful than I currently am. But I like the idea of chaos. There, Cindy, there is some water for you, little bunnies. You guys are watching those bunnies over there because I thought I want to change up the view a little bit, because it's probably pretty boring always looking at the same view and not being able to actually see the bunnies when I'm feeding them and doing the bunny thing. Oh, yeah. I could see that. I could see how construction work would totally fit that as well. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I really enjoy is I enjoy teaching people. And the reason I enjoy teaching people is because someone's going to ask some really out of the park question. And I like the challenge puzzle of being able to answer that out of the park question. I think that kind of stuff is fun to me, is because there's some really good questions. And if the more out of the park crazier the question is, the more I actually think I can learn from that. And I do enjoy learning on a very regular basis. I think learning is probably my favorite thing to do. It's also something I have to, I don't want to say I can overlearn. I can focus too much on learning and not on actually getting something done. I did hear that, Dwayne. I thought it was something falling off. I actually thought it was something falling off my house. So that's interesting. So you heard it too. So then it definitely wasn't something falling off my house. Yeah, just before I came outside, I heard that boom. And interesting. That's something we need to figure out what it was. I mean, it's funny. I don't always worry about booms. You guys might laugh about this, but I have a gas plant that's like less than a mile away from my house. And if there's a big boom and the gas plant explodes, I'd probably not know. You guys might know because the stream would turn off. Or maybe it wouldn't. But yeah, no, I wonder what that big boom was. Now I'm intrigued. Now I need to know. I bet the Twitter will tell me. Well, no, Twitter might not tell me. The news might tonight. Yeah, I was just getting ready to come outside and I heard that boom. So, very intriguing. So, if you heard it and you're like 2 miles away, then it was probably somewhere between us. So, is a volcano opening up. It's probably what it was. There's a volcano opening up somewhere around here. That's my guess. I'm going to stick with that guess. It's 2024. Anything's possible. That's the one downfall of me not having audio on my farm stream, is having a little bit of audio on my farm stream. I would have been able to hear it and maybe figured out the exact time, and maybe a meteor came through. Maybe that's what it was. That would make sense. I bet a meteor zipped across the sky and smashed into, maybe it crashed on the top of my mountain. Maybe it crashed on, and maybe it crashed on top of the mountain, and maybe there's a awesome meteor waiting for me on the top of the mountain. I don't think so. That would be cool. I can pretend that that's what happened. There was a loud boom in this. There was like a loud boom outside. It kind of it sounded like something kind of exploded or fell. I mean, to me, it sounded like a big boom that something fell off of the house, because this time of year with all the stuff, there's lots of loud noises of things falling off the house. But I don't actually know what it was. It could have just been the mountain. The mountain was talking, saying hi. It was. It could have been that, but Dwayne lives too far away from me for us to both be able to hear that noise of being a dump truck gate. If he was a little closer, I would agree. I actually would agree that it probably was a dump truck gate. But it'd have to be like, you know, a ginormous industrial dump truck for it to be a dump truck gate to do that. And I don't think there is any of those. I don't think there's any of those around. And plus there's a mountain between two of us. So that also plays a role. We can get on investigation. If I find out, I'll post it. If I end up finding out what it was, and I'm positive, I'll post it up on the Discord, or I'll post it up on my Twitter. Which if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's xDrFirefly, like it is pretty much everywhere else. So we will see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sometimes guys, yeah, see, the thing is Louder lives almost, well, I think it's about 2 miles. I think he actually is about exactly 2 miles from my house. And it was really loud here because I I was in the house when I heard it. I wasn't even outside yet. So yeah, interesting. Check it out. Be on I'll be on the path. Okay, yeah, it could have been someone playing with TNT. Sounds about right. That sounds like something that would happen around here. People like playing with that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, could be the, you know, somebody maybe got a tank. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if a neighbor got a tank and you could shoot a tank. I want to shoot a tank. Yeah, that would be cool. I want to befriend that guy and I want to shoot his tank. That'd be cool. I'd like it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sticking with the a meteor. It's the aliens. Aliens. There we go. Found the answer, guys. It has to be aliens. There's nothing else it could possibly be. That sound a half an hour ago or so was just aliens. Perfect. I don't know what that means, but that's the final answer. Okay, so 2011, I was in the car. So I was in the car because I was actually, so I was really close to where that earthquake happened in Virginia when that earthquake happened, because I was actually taking Lisa. So I was taking Lisa to the airport that day, and that earthquake was crazy. I felt it in the car. But when I came back here to Flat Top in my house, inside my house, down one of my walls, this big crack appeared. I still actually have the crack. It's really cool. I didn't actually plaster over it. So that was the strongest earthquake I've ever felt. I would have really liked to be here at my house and felt it, because it had to be a pretty good shake to be able to crack my old house the way it did. But I felt it in the car, and that was really cool. I think Lisa was actually at the airport at the time, and I think they had mentioned. I don't think she was on the plane. I think she was still in the airport, and they actually were talking about it. It actually delayed things at the airport for a little while because of that. But yeah, that was probably the biggest or most interesting earthquake I've ever felt that I know I felt. So there's been a couple other things that's happened where I just wasn't quite sure. I thought maybe I felt that, but I wasn't 100% sure. Yeah, it was, I don't think it was a 4. It was, I'm pretty sure it was a high 3, like 3.8 maybe. I don't know. It was centered out of just south of Roanoke, because I'm pretty sure where the center of that was. In the conspiracy theory world, everybody was talking at that time that it happened. Everyone was talking about was when they were building the tunnels, when they're doing all the secret. So, it was like in the tunnels of. They say that it was in the tunnels, and the reason that you probably felt it up where you were is because the way it did, it ran up the Great Valley. So there, if you ever look on a map, you'll see how between these two ridges of mountains. Yeah, so there's this Great Valley of, if you ever look on the map, you'll see this thing. It's a Great Valley. It's where like Blacksburg and such is. So through that, and they said the way that it resonated that entire mountainside. Yeah, and it was that was pretty neat. But yeah, the conspiracy at the time was that they were building tunnels from the East Coast to the Appalachian Mountains. So funny stories. I mean, who knows what it was? I mean, that's totally plausible in my mind. I mean, anything is. you know, anything around here is possible. So I don't remember if the official story was they were trying to collapse the tunnels or if they were trying to dig the tunnels. I don't remember which one. So either way, very interesting. So maybe that's what that big noise was. Maybe they're building tunnels here. Somebody's building tunnels in my backyard, and we're gonna have a cool new underground city. Hope they invite me. I want to go to the underground city. Well, under the Great Lakes, because of all the salt that they've removed from the Great Lakes, especially like between Toledo and Cleveland, there's absolutely crazy tunnels under there from the salt mines and things of that. It's really interesting. So, yeah, no, if you look up salt, yeah, but if you actually look up salt under Lake Erie, you'll actually they'll actually talk about they'll talk all about how right under the Great Lakes, just right off of the coast between Toledo and Cleveland, that there's giant salt mines, and there's giant, like, they're just extracting all of the salt underneath the lake and such, and it's possible that they could build stuff or put things in there. Of course, they don't want us to know, you know, that there's more than just extracting salt out, because then they'd have to admit that, you know, they're doing things that, you know, we normally call conspiracies. But I had a friend who worked in one of those salt mines and was telling me just how cool and big. Actually, I think there's probably some videos and pictures online about those cool salt mines, because they're not, you know, the mining isn't conspiracy. It's the fact that they maybe built some cities or towns or other things in there. That's the part of the conspiracy. But my buddy who worked in the salt mines said in the Finger Lakes, I can totally see how that would they could do the same thing up there in the Finger Lakes. That makes total sense. And it's interesting. Yeah, I could totally, being I had Lisa lived up in Vermont for a while, and going down into the Catskills, and then going over to that particular part of, she had friends that lived going into that particular part of New York. And I think one of her friends actually had a house that was built into the side of the mountain, or maybe it was a friend of a friend that had a house built in the side of the mountain. I don't remember the particular details of the story. It might not even been Lisa. So, very interesting. As a caver, I think caves are super interesting. They intrigue me a lot. I really like them. I'd like to one day. I've never been in a lava tube. I've been in a pretty good variety of caves, but I've never been in a lava tube, and I really think it would be cool. I really would dig going into a lava tube one day. I'd like to see what they're like. I'd like to see how lava creates them. It seems very interesting. So, okay. I mean, there's a piece of property down here in West Virginia that was for sale, and it's this giant farm. I think it's on like 100 acres, but in the middle of the farm is a known cave. And it's a pretty good cave, and the cave has access to fresh water. And too, man, if I would have had the money, I totally would have done everything I could to try to buy that piece of property, because having a farm and a cave with fresh water inside, that's, for me, that's a dream. Like, just having a cave with fresh water, just having a cave on my property would be awesome. I've looked on my 33 acres. I've looked all around to try to see if I could find a cave, but, you know, but absolutely no luck. So Mammoth Cave is pretty cool. I like wild caves. Regular cave tours are fun, but going into a cave wild, where you got your own you've got your own map, or maybe you're just going in there raw, but you got your own map, and you've got your headset, your headlamp, and you've maybe got some flashlights and a backpack with some jerky. Super fun. I've been in tight watery caves. The craziest cave we went into was there was a cave and we need to get through the water. So we were on our back with our mouths touching the top. The water was like up to our chins. We were laying on our back and the water was up to here, and we had our mouths touching the top of the cave, and we had to crawl through. We had to crawl backwards through about like 25 feet to get to where it opened up. But it was awesome when it opened up. We didn't actually have to go back through that way. We actually found another little path around. We were just trying a little way that was interesting on the map that we heard about. But we knew we only had to go about 25 feet. So we knew we only had to go like 25 feet. So that's why it was totally worth it. I like mouse holes. So being a skinny guy, I like being able to get through the tiny little holes in mouse holes. What's really funny is as a kid, I was extremely claustrophobic, but this adventurous in me really made me want to get down and explore caves. I did end up in one cave that made me really awkward, is where we had to crawl, and it was just wide enough for to crawl like this, and we got and it ended. And we didn't know it was going to end, so we had to crawl backwards. Yeah, in that situation, I knew we had the cave map. We saw what it said on the cave map. I knew that it was only 25 feet of that particular type of crawl with the water. So that's why I was not worried. The cave that we did where we were crawling on our stomach and we crawled down this hole, and it said that it kept going, but there must have been a collapse, or maybe it was the wrong thing. But we got to the end and we just couldn't get back, so we had to crawl back. It probably took us 30 minutes to crawl backwards, and I don't know if you've ever tried to crawl backwards. We couldn't turn around, and so you just had to crawl backwards. That was definitely a time that sucked. My anxiety kicked in a bit. That was not so much fun. So, but I have to say, I have more anxiety now thinking about it than I did when I was doing it, because there was a lot of adrenaline running through my body while I was doing it. But going back and thinking about it now, there's definitely a lot more heebie-jeebies thinking about going and doing that. I'd never crawl down that hole again. Okay, let's go get some more food for Lisa. And
What's you got in here?
Everybody's watered. They just need a little bit of.
I'm bringing her in here. She's been outside.
Yeah.
She's cold.
Yeah.
She's silly.
They just need a little bit of food in here.
Okay.
Everybody's been watered.
Great. Did you get everybody outside?
I got everybody outside.
Even the chickens?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Did they get water in the big bowl?
It's about half full. We could probably put a little bit more in there. I can go.
Okay. You're such a hero. Go.
Oh, okay. I don't think I have never been very far into a coal mine, so.
All right. She's so mean. Here, take her. Watch out. When she bites, she doesn't let go.
We're moving our one chicken into here because she lost her boyfriend the other day.
Hey, you want to give her to Uber, or you think she'll hurt him? Huh? Yeah.
No, I don't want to give her to Uber right now.
All right. Give her away.
So let's go. Do you need some more water in here? Do you want me to get a little bit more water for that?
If that's what needs it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go get some.
I think we can.
Let's go get some more water. Let's go. Let's guys.
See, that's what she's doing. She's just sitting there like that.
Yeah, at least in here, it was actually really warm in here until I opened the door. So this is probably a better place for her anyways. So she's one of our older hens. Her boyfriend, which was the head rooster around. He was having issues, and so he didn't make it through a couple weeks ago, or about a week or so ago, I think it was. So it was hard. It was Harvey Jr. So yeah, the sky. No, that hen is a nice hen. Well, I mean, she's actually not a nice hen. I like her as a hen, but she is mean to Lisa. She pecks on Lisa, and she picks on Lisa and all that kind of stuff. But I liked her, and she made some really fun she made some really fun offspring. Is what I liked about raising her. I rescued her. She was at this place and people did not like her. And so I'm a sucker when I see, I'm a sucker when I see certain chickens and I want to rescue them because I want them to live in a better environment than they were. And she was one of them that we rescued. So it's why I don't normally go around people that have chickens or go to people's houses that are selling chickens, is because I get caught up like buying too many chickens, because sometimes I don't necessarily like there's this one people that are raising chickens and they're raising them in just these tiny little cages, like where the chicken couldn't even stretch its wings out. And I at least like my animals to be able to, dirt bath and run around, at least if they can. Like, some of my guys can't run around because they're handicapped, or they don't get that much time outside because of the hawks and such, but they at least have the little bit bigger cages so they can scratch and peck and jump around and jump on sticks and completely spread their wings. So that's why the last couple years I've not been allowed to go, because I will buy or rescue or get too much. That's why I don't usually go to Tractor Supply or Rural King either, because I see all those baby chickens and I want them all, and I want them to not live in that metal tube, and want to give them. So that being said, because we don't have any large roosters anymore, I'm going to actually have to go out and seek out and find a large rooster one day, because I don't like not having, for the girls that don't live in the cages, the free-ranging girls, I don't like not having a rooster for them, because hens can sometimes make bad decisions if there's not a rooster, especially these girls that are used to always having a rooster to give them the heads up and the warning. Here, Lisa, here's the water.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'd given the boys already some food.
Oh, back there?
Yeah.
I didn't go back there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I got water.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, the master of cocks have ran out of cocks. I have plenty of little guys living in the cages, and the silkies. I have plenty of silky roosters right now, but silky roosters aren't really the best for free ranging. They make lots of bad decisions. So yeah, I'm gonna probably get some more quacky ducks. So that's something I'll be adding, and a couple more large chickens, because I've got a lot of silkies, but I think I need some more. Large chickens, because right now I've only got a couple, and I'd like to increase my large egg production again. So the best way to do that is just snag a couple large chickens. So kind of pretty over this way. You guys might like to. We'll go on a quick little walk around this way. One of the classes that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the basics, chicken rearing, and picking out chickens, where to find the good hens, where to find good chickens. We'll probably order some online. We'll go through those steps on going things like Murray McMurray and some of the other hatcheries online, and then buying local. And we'll just talk a little bit about the pros and cons of all of that, because there's important things that you should know when you're getting chickens. And I think that might be a fun class for folks that have never raised chickens or might want to know. So pretty today. Quiet too. It's probably really quiet I'll stop and talk. I'll stop for a second. Me, all I can hear is ringing in my ears right now. So since I, still have a headache from yesterday, when I have headaches, the tinnitus is extra loud. There's some deer. You can tell some deer came through here and turned and went that way, and another one went this way. So cool. You can tell by the drags. So there's some crossing here as well. Little chaos right here. Got some deer chaos. Sorry. This is kind of cute. This is kind of cool. You can see the weird cloud coming down that way. You can see the sun setting over there. The moon's on the other side. And that's just, it's kind of an interesting shot. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. So I started some, just because I was trying a new technique, and maybe we're going to talk about that in the next couple days. But I started some loofah plants, and it turned out pretty cool. They grew pretty much how I wanted them to grow. So very happy with that. So I'm going to be starting some more plants inside, explaining what I have. Oh, look, so we got some guys that were, some stuff was bedding down here, digging, trying to eat some of the grass and eat some of the leftover crops that we still have here. So very interesting, to say the least. I like to try to follow paths that are already here, instead of blaze brand new ones through the snow. Look at that. That's so fun up there. Like the wispy clouds. That's smoke. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there. You look again, that's smoke. Let's kind of get higher than we're. Let's go walk. I'm gonna go back to my barn. I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna go climb on. Maybe. We're gonna walk back to the barn. I'm gonna jump on top of the barn. I'm gonna climb on top of the barn. I get a little bit of height there. I'd go to the top of the mountain, but if I go to the top of the mountain there, I actually have too much blocking my vision to where that's at. So the barn's probably going to be the best place to jump up and see, because as we're getting here, I don't see flames, but that's not a that's either a hell of a bonfire. That's pretty dark. Like, pretty dark smoke. I'll zoom in for you guys to see a little bit. That's pretty dark smoke. We're gonna go climb on top of the barn. See what we can see. I want to know now. The nosiness in me is winning. It could just be a really big bonfire. Okay, wait, hold on. I can see flames. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because from this angle, I can see right about right there. I can see what looks like a little bit of flames. But let's still go. That's still good reason to go climb on top of the barn. I always need a reason to climb on top of my barn. So let's go climb on top of the barn and see if it really is just a big trash fire, which is most likely what it is. Let's go see. Why not? It's not like to catch a field on fire like I did last year. Which, by the way, was on live stream. You can't even tell I did that in the field, though. Things grow back so well here that you can't even tell that I caught my field on fire. So there's about 18 inches of snow on the ground, for those that are wondering, which is awesome. This is how winters are supposed to be. If it's going to be cold, I want snow on the ground. I want to look outside and know it's cold outside. I don't be one of those days that pretends to be warm, looks warm outside, and then you go outside and it's, you know, like 0 degrees, but it looks like it's nice outside. Those days annoy me. So it is, I will say, I agree, it is fun stomping out a brush fire. It's just when your brush fire is in a hayfield and the wind's blowing, it's not quite as fun. Okay, going up the ladder now. Actually, might even not even have to get on the roof. Yeah, unfortunately, the tree's in the way, so we're not going to be able to see. Okay. Well, shucks. I was hoping. Let's go this way. Let's see if I can peek through the woods somewhere and see if I can see. There might be a way to peek through. Yeah, I don't think I can peek through it, unfortunately. So we're going to just make the assumption that it's a trash fire. Unfortunately, we're just not going to know. But I guess I could call my neighbors and see if they're having a trash fire. It's just not as much fun. It's a lot more fun to discover on our own. There's a chance that we might be able to see going through the gate right here. So, yeah, see, the thing is we're too low again. But let's go say hi to the giant icicles on my house before we go in, because they're fun. It's nice. Look at that. Look at those killer icicles. I like this one. This one's my favorite. Right here in the corner of my house. That one's like almost a whole story. That one's pretty fun too. I'm surprised so this is pretty much the only spot of the house where we still have gutters, and I'm really surprised that the gutter is here. Part of the reason we don't put gutters on this house is because I'll walk this way. Because the pitches and the way the house is, it would literally just rip the gutters off. Yeah. So let me show you something that they did in Victorian times that they knew when ice was going to be, is they would be smart, and over doorways they would put arches like that. So I don't know, I like this. One of my favorites is I like these guys right here. I like this cascade. I like this cascade of guys coming off the roof right here. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I can show you the really killer ones, and yeah, like literally meaning dangerous, would hurt you. Is so right here where I can actually, and I'm not going to purposely stand under them, but where I could stand under these guys, I'm going to stand right onto the edge where you can really see them. Like these guys right here. Like those guys right here that we're looking up at, those guys are like those guys are almost 12 feet in length. If that clump fell, I mean, I might even be too close right now, but if that clump fell, that would hurt real bad, probably kill you. So, not a good idea to... but if you saw how many valleys and peaks my roof had, it's just, you know, as a Victorian house, and valleys and peaks everywhere. This is what it looks like all winter. Every winter is what it's always looked like. So, I mean, those ice dams are just insanely crazy. But it's what it's always been. It's been like this for 20 years. And my guess is it's probably been like this, you know, being my house is 197. Oh, look out here. Look, you can see. Look at that. Okay. You guys were right. Trash fire. So 120 plus years old. It's what the house is always. It's what the house I kind of think was just built to handle. I think sometimes the people in the Victorian era understood things a little different than we do. I'm going to walk down to the road so we can look up on the house and see it from the front shot. I think that'd be cool. They would be. That'd actually be a good way. That would be a very good way. Oh, I would know. Yes. When my house leaks, it's like last summer when I lost a couple shingles, because underneath the shingles it's just wood plats. There's not pieces of plywood. There's just slats of wood. And so, yeah, you know when a shingle's gone because of how bad it leaks. It's a very, very obvious. This is pretty cool. Let's see if I can... Okay. I want to take a couple pictures because that's just really cool. It's worth getting a couple of cool pictures in. Because, you know, you don't get to always see cool icy houses. It gives it that kind of like scary look. That fun, crazy, awesome, scary look from. And it looks nice with snow. Like if I bend down a bit, it also has a nice with the snow right there. Pretty fun. I don't know. I really like my house. Built in 1897. So, and then you guys want to see my road, see how awesomely clear my road is. Living in the country. Okay, back up the wonderfully plowed steps, which I need to actually get those steps plowed up and ready to go. So, well, anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys all for joining me today as we got the chores done and went for a little walk and enjoyed this beautiful day. Because it was a pretty nice day. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. It's Doc. Till tomorrow, I will see you guys. Yeah, so anyways, you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Till tomorrow, it's Doc. I will see you guys later. Adios.